Hey, awesome ones! I want to say a big thank you to a lot of you that say my skin is looking really nice for my age, but I gotta tell you, I've got a few secrets, and what I thought I would do is share them with you today on how I get a little bit more of a youthful, glowing kind of skin. And don't forget, I always do say though, embrace your age. All right, well, let's just get started with tip number 1. I prime my face like a painter primes a wall. What? Yep. Now, in order to give you this full experience, what I have to do is I have to take off all my makeup. I'm going to leave my eye makeup on, but don't forget to stick till the end because this is not all makeup related. All right, here goes the makeup. I only do this for you, the awesome ones. But anyway, let's get to the primer. And this is the Strivectin. Let me read it here. Instant Wrinkle Blurring Primer. And here's the one that I've been using. You can see that I love it. And again, just a little dab will do you. I'll just show you how much I use right here. And what we're going to do is we're putting on the primer. Now, not only is that going to act as a really nice base for our foundation, but it's actually going, you know, my 11s here, it's actually going in a lot, marionette lines, yep. It's going into a lot of the little wrinkles and cracks, just like, you know, a painter when he puts the primer on the walls, the same sort of thing. So now if my face looks like it's getting a little bit red, that naturally happens with me, but in just a few seconds, it will disappear. And as usual, I'll have many of the products that I'm using. It's going to be underneath in the video description and also in the comments. And don't forget, if you're wondering what my favorite skincare and makeup products are, all you have to do is go to amazon.com/shop/awesomeover50, scroll down and you'll find the sections. And by the way, you always pay exactly what Amazon usually charges. All right. Let's get to tip number 2. It has to be our concealer. And today I have 2 that I usually apply. And it not only helps to, you know, get rid of a lot of the dark circles, but also discolorations and also age spots. All right, let's take a look. All right, so let's start with just a basic concealer. This one is from NYX. It's called Bear With Me, and my color is Vanilla. All right, so again, just a little dab on my hand here, and I'm going to use a concealer brush like this. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to sort of go, see these dark lines? And I'm only going to do half of my face just for the sake of time. I'll do the other half off camera. I think I'm going to use a phone. Phil's laughing behind the camera. Yeah, I think I'm going to use a mirror instead of a phone. Okay, anyway, let's just go here, underneath. There's a second step to this, okay? So you might be saying, well, she's not covering very well. I'm going to go up a little bit into the purpley parts of my eye. And then what I'm going to do is cover some of my dark spots, the age spots right there. All right, so that's done, and you're saying, well, I can still see lines. Well, I got a secret weapon, and my secret weapon is Bye Bye Under Eye. My color is light fair. I use the tiniest little amount of this, like we're talking that much here, and just bear with me, I'm keeping it real here. Anyway, I'm just going to put a little dab on a brush like this. And now, this is when I really cover up a lot of things. So I'm going to go, you see this purpley part here, how dark it is? I'm going to go right up in there, do a nice covering of that. Brighten it up a little bit. Now underneath where I have still a dark line, I'm going to go right there. Bye Bye Under Eye, circle. All right. And then I'm just going to look around and see some spots, some little age spots, and I'm going to cover them up here. Now, This is really cool. I also go into my 11s. There's an 11 there. I'm going to lighten it from the inside of the wrinkle down my marionette lines just with a simple line like that. See what's happening? I'm reflecting the light upwards so that they don't look so bad. And there you go. Oh, one more thing. Age spots on your hands. Get a little bit of this. Can you see that age spot there? I'm going to just cover it up. And age spot be gone. Nobody will be guessing your age by looking at your hands. Okay, for tip number 3, the next big difference is the foundation that I use. And I gotta tell you, I tried a lot of different foundations before doing this video. I thought to myself, okay, let's see if I can find another one that I can tell them about. I had to come back to Shiseido Synchro Glow Foundation. It's absolutely fabulous, and it was the winner every single time. So let's just take a look on how I apply it. I like to use 2 pumps, and again, just using my hand as a palette here. And I like to use these little white sponges. I really like them. Okay, so what I'm going to do, again, just half a face here, I just kind of pat it and apply it. Okay, pat and apply. Not over the concealer, just at the side of the concealer here. And then down, just a little lightly on here. And then on this, my cheeks and that, especially over here where I have the age spots, I want to apply a little bit more, a little thicker. And then what I have here is a nice even skin tone compared to this side. All right, so while you're waiting for the foundation to dry, let's tackle these lips. And again, I have a 2-part kind of lip tackling team. Anyway, and they're really, really inexpensive, so let's check them out. First, let's use this Super Stay Crayon by Maybelline. And this is a real natural kind of look. And I like the fact that you can kind of adjust it a bit, but it also can be used as a lip liner. So let me just sort of outline my lips a bit. See how natural it looks? Now I'm just going to fill it in. All right, so it looks a little bit dull because it is a matte, and this is all about having a glow. So what I like to use is, this is also from Maybelline, so it's really inexpensive. It's called Lifter Gloss, and this color that I love is called Sun. And what I do with this, look at that applicator there, I just put a little bit on my bottom lips here, and then I kind of blend it in, and I have a beautiful gloss. And the color of this lipstick, by the way, was called Lead the Way. All right, for my next tip, it's tip number 5. I'm going to combine the blush, the contouring, and also the highlighter, with an emphasis on the highlighter, because this is really, really important to help you get your glow on. All right, let's take a look. Now, I know that many of our grandmothers would not leave the home without wearing a little bit of rouge. So for us today, we have blush. I like the powder blush, and my favorite is NARS. And the name of this one is, wait for it, Orgasm. Okay, anyway, it's got a little bit of a sparkle. It really is a lovely, lovely product. I use a brush like this, and I'm just going to kind of put it on the apples of my cheeks, I think they're called. And I'm also going to put just a little underneath my eyes, along here, just to tame the brightness of the concealer. And there you go. Now for my contouring, I'm actually using Park Avenue Princess from Tarte, and it's a bronzer, but it's not shiny, so it's really, really nice on. Just a little bit here, and I'm going to go down along my cheekbones, and also a little bit on the bridge of my nose here, and also underneath on our jowls. And what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to give a little bit more of a lift to some of my naturally sagging features. And now for the highlighter, da 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 da! It's definitely my #1 favorite to give me a glow, and this is from e.l.f. and it's called Moonlight Pearls, I believe. All right, I use a brush like this, and it's just amazing how it just wakes up your face, gives you that nice glow. I put a little bit here on this side, you can see the difference a bit. I put a little bit here. And then what I want to do is use a little tiny brush like this, and I'm going to put it, just dab it inside my eyes here, just to wake them up a little bit, and there you go. Now let's take a look at the before and after photos. So you can see the difference that a little bit of makeup makes. I've gone from a dull complexion to a woman with some radiance. Now don't change that dial, because I have more tips for you that don't involve makeup. And by the way, if you're wondering about my eye makeup, what I'm going to do for you is at the end screen of this video, I'm going to put a link, and it's going to be especially for women who have, you know, downturned and hooded eyes. All right, let's look at tip number 6. Now, as most of you know, we recently moved and our furnace does not have a humidifier. And we went, oh well. But then we started noticing that our lips were getting cracked, our face was getting all dried out, and we had to do something. Now, if you have the same kind of situation, you might want to use one of those big humidifiers. And if you have a small room like we do now, because we downsized, I'm just using my little diffuser here, which when you plug it in, all the steam comes out. I don't even have to use the essential oils for it. And it's just giving me enough moisture to kind of put that moisture back into our skin. For tip number 7, you know, it seems so ordinary, but always have water next to you. I have water next to my bed. I have it next to my desk. Whenever we're in the car, I have water. And also I have this handy water bag. It's just a crossbody bag. And when I'm going for a walk, I always have my water there to hydrate me, because they're saying that we're mostly water, so we might as well get that glow from the inside. And for tip number 8, how about giving our bodies a nice glow? And for that, I love the Vaseline Intensive Care Cocoa Radiant, and it's made with cocoa butter. And what I really like about it is it moisturizes without feeling greasy. So, you know, you can put this everywhere, and it's such a nice product, giving you a glow. But it also smells a little like going on a tropical vacation. So all around, I love it. Tip number 9 is exfoliate. It's really not a great idea to work on a blank canvas that's got all kinds of dry skin and is really rough. And so again, this is really inexpensive. I use the St. Ives Fresh Skin Scrub, and it's natural. It has I think it has apricot pits and also walnuts in it. And I use it about once a month, and it literally makes my skin baby soft. Next, maybe ask yourself the question, what am I wearing? Because today I decided to wear red. I find that it just really brightens up my face and gives me such a lovely, lovely glow. I also found that jewel tones like purples and royal blues, they really, really help me to have a glow. So what you might want to do is just try some different tops on and look at the color swatches and just see what really livens up your face. Now let's think for a moment of what this tutorial was all about. it wasn't about, you know, go get some fillers and go get some facial surgery to make you look 30 years old. But, and hey, if you want to do that, that's fine. It's just not for me. And what I was trying to show you here is how you can look more refreshed and therefore more youthful. You know, I've been reading the comments, and some of you have said that your grandmothers used to say, even an old barn looks better with a coat of paint. And I just love that. You know, even when we take our paint off, our love, our beauty from within, it really still will radiate. But for me, I just feel that confidence when, you know, I got a little sparkle on, and it's just one more way to keep it awesome.